Taxes are mandatory financial contributions imposed by the government on individuals and businesses to fund public services and programs. Emphasis on to fund public services and programs, okay? And actually, I'm going to repeat myself because I don't think that you really heard me the first time. Taxes are mandatory financial contributions imposed by the government on individuals and businesses to fund public services or programs This one big beautiful bill of bullshit is literally stating how they're going to be paying and charging us more tax, more money that's not going to those public services and programs because they're cutting said public services and programs. Donald Trump and this administration has literally laid it out to you as clear as possible. They are taking money from the poor. They are robbing money from the poor and from the middle class, from the working class, okay? And they're literally putting it into the pockets of the top 20% earners here in America. Those are the only people that are getting any type of benefit from this one big beautiful bill of bullshit, okay? They're the only ones. Everybody else is taking a major loss. They're taking a major hit. You're charging U.S. citizens more in taxes, right? While simultaneously stating how you will be cutting $880 billion from Medicaid in the next decade and also taking away $300 billion from SNAP. But the thing is, you're still taking money from me. You're still taking money from me, but you're making sure that it goes into your pocket and it goes into your buddies' pockets. The oligarchy. 10.3 million people will be losing Medicaid coverage by the year of 2034, okay? And 7.6 million people will become uninsured, right? They're also going to be taking away $300 billion from SNAP, making it the largest anti-hunger funding cut, right, in American history. In American history, kids are going to go hungry. Speaking to MAGA, right? I'm speaking to them. They're taking money out of your pocket and they're giving it to their buddies. They're taking money out of your pocket and they're giving it to their buddies. That's literally what it is. They're taking away every benefit that you could possibly get or you could have had access to in this government. They're taking it away, right? They're still making sure that you pay, but that money is not going towards anything that you could have actually utilized in life. It's going to their friends, their buddies. It's going to Donald Trump. You supported him so goddamn much. I hope that you support him stealing everything that you have. And again, taxes are put in place to fund public services and programs. That's the only reason why we should be getting taxed. So if the government is imposing higher taxes for us, we should be seeing where that money is going to. And it's not going to any public service or program. It's going to Donald Trump. It's going to Elon Musk. It's going to Jeff Bezos. It's going to Mark Zuckerberg. It's going to all of those people. It's going to all of those people. It's not going to you. It was never going to touch you. Unless you're a part of the top 20%, the top 20% earners in America, it was never, ever, ever, ever going to come to you.
Well, it looks like the Republicans passed Trump's big, beautiful bill. That big, beautiful bill that's cutting your Medicaid, your Medicare. Republicans did this now. Republicans passed the bill. The Republican-controlled Congress passed a bill, Donald Trump's so-called big, beautiful bill. It's cutting your Medicaid. It's going to cut your Medicare. It's going to cut your SNAP benefits. It's going to cut your Social Security benefits. And all kind of other little goodies in there. The Republicans are voting for things like there's never going to be another election. Have you guys noticed that? They're backing anything this man does as if they would never have to rely on being elected again. They're passing things that are, in normal times, political career ending. They're putting their names to things that normally would mean the end of their political career. So what is that telling you? They're voting like they know something you don't know. They're voting like they don't need your vote ever again. And not to forget, Trump told y'all during the campaign, if you vote now, you never have to vote again.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we are talking about a story that is making headlines. The US House just passed a bill that has got a lot of people talking, scared, and honestly confused. It's called the quote-unquote One Big Beautiful Bill. Yes, that's the actual name. And behind that shiny title is a serious attack on healthcare. If you or someone you love uses Medicaid, you need to pay attention to this. If you're coming across this channel for the first time, my name is Rosemary. Kindly consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Before we get to the video, let me play a few clips on the same, and I'll be back with my commentary. All credit goes to the original creators of these videos.
Let's take a second to understand what Medicare actually is, how it came to be, and why it's been so critical to millions of Americans for nearly 60 years. Because as the House prepares to vote on a budget that could lead to major cuts in the programs like Medicare and Medicaid, it's important to understand what's at stake. Medicare is a federal health insurance program created in 1965 primarily for people 65 and older, but it also covers younger Americans with disabilities and people with end-stage kidney disease. Today, over 67 million people rely on it for access to hospital care, doctor visits, prescription drugs, and more. Medicare is made up of four main parts. Part A covers inpatient hospital stays, nursing facilities, hospice, and some home health care. Part B covers outpatient care like doctor's visits, lab tests, and preventative services. Part C, also known as Medicare Advantage, is an optional plan where private insurers offer Medicare coverage with added benefits. And finally, Part D covers the cost of prescription drugs, sort of an alphabet soup of making sure you're healthy. Now, Medicare is funded primarily through a combination of payroll taxes, general federal revenues, and monthly premiums paid by beneficiaries. Part A is funded by a 2.9% payroll tax split between employers and workers. Part B and D are funded mostly by the federal government, along with premiums from the people enrolled in those plans. Unlike a personal savings account, the money you pay into Medicare now helps cover the costs of current beneficiaries. It's a generational contract. Workers support retirees, and when they retire, the next generation supports them. It's easy to confuse Medicare and Medicaid, but they're different. Medicare is federal and based mostly on age or disability. Medicaid is jointly funded by the federal government and individual states, and it helps low-income Americans of all ages, including many seniors who use both programs. Medicaid covers services Medicare often doesn't, like long-term nursing home care. So when budget proposals aim to cut entitlement spending, both Medicare and Medicaid are often on the chopping block. Before 1965, only about half of seniors had health insurance. Many were forced to delay care, rely on family, or go without treatment altogether. President Lyndon B. Johnson signed Medicare into law as part of his Great Society reforms. At the signing ceremony, he gave the first two Medicare cards to former President Harry Truman and his wife Bess, acknowledging Truman's earlier push for universal health coverage. Medicare started as a basic promise that aging wouldn't mean being left behind. And since its creation, Medicare has helped reduce poverty amongst seniors and made it possible for millions of Americans to access care that they couldn't have afforded otherwise. Today, over 95% of seniors have health coverage, and public support is consistently high. Over 80% of Americans view Medicare favorably. It's not a luxury. It's part of the foundation that allows people to age with dignity. And now tonight, Congress is supposed to be voting on a budget resolution that doesn't name Medicare directly, but it sets a target of cutting over $800 billion in federal healthcare spending. Experts say it would almost certainly affect Medicare and Medicaid through things like lower payments to hospitals, reduced benefits, or shifting more costs to older Americans.
Let's break this down. This bill passed by a one-man vote margin, 215 to 214, and inside it includes some of the biggest cuts to Medicaid we have seen in years. We are talking about $700 billion in cuts over the next decade. According to budget experts, that means about 8.6 million people could lose their healthcare coverage. That's not just numbers, that's real families, real children, real seniors gone, just like that. And why are they doing this? Supporters of the bill, mostly Republicans, says it's to stop fraud and to make sure people who are able-bodied actually go to work. House Speaker Mike Johnson said there is a moral component to it, claiming people are abusing the system and shouldn't get help if they are not working. But here's the truth. Most people on Medicaid are working, or they are taking care of children, or they are disabled, or they are elderly. The bill acts like poor people are lazy, and that's just not true. And let's believe, this is not just about stopping fraud. It's about punishing poor people. The bill puts more red tape in place. It adds more paperwork, more rules, more chances for people to lose coverage, not because they are lying, but because they are struggling to keep up. This is how people fall through the cracks, and once that coverage is gone, it's gone. And here's what makes it worse. At the same time they are slashing healthcare for the most vulnerable people in the country, they are giving tax cuts on the rich. Yes, the bill includes tax breaks that mostly benefits the wealthy Americans. So while everyday folks are losing healthcare, billionaires get another bonus. Now, here's something that really stood out to me. The bill also brings back the SALT deduction cap. That's the state and local tax deduction. And it's being raised to help out people in high tax states, which again mostly benefits the high income folks. So the rich get relief, the poor get the bill. And don't forget, this is not just about adults. Children are on Medicaid too. Kids with disability, kids in foster care, families who can't afford private insurance. The bill puts their future at risk. Imagine being a parent, knowing your children has a chronic illness, and waking up to find out that your coverage is gone because you missed a form or didn't work enough hours. That's what this bill does. And here is the kicker. This bill is backed by the president with out here claiming it's quote-unquote beautiful, even though the Congressional Budget Office says it could add nearly $4 trillion to the national deficit. That's right, the same people yelling about fiscal responsibility are about to explode the deficit, all while cutting your grandma's healthcare. So let's ask the real question here. Who is this bill helping? Because for sure, it's not the working class, it's not the elderly, it's not the single moms, it's not the veterans, it's not the children. It's helping billionaires, corporate donors, and political talking point. And let me speak directly to the folks who voted for these politicians thinking they were going to fix the system. Is this what you signed up for? Is this what draining the swabs look like? Because from where I'm standing, it looks like the regular people are getting squeezed again while the rich are popping champagne. I know some people are going to say, well, healthcare is too expensive, we need to make cuts somewhere. Okay, but why not start with the wasteful military spending or massive tax loopholes for the ultra rich? Why is it always the poor and the sick who have to sacrifice? And this is why voting matters. This is why paying attention matters. This bill didn't come out of nowhere as a result of years of slowly chipping away at social programs while distracting the public with cultural wars and outrage politics. Meanwhile, little people are suffering. If you're on Medicaid or know someone who is there, you're not alone. Millions of people are in the same boat, and we need to fight for each other. Healthcare is not a luxury, it's a human right, and no shiny name like one big beautiful bill can cover up the fact that this is just another way to hurt the most vulnerable. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.